The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Y'all want to know why I'm on top? Y'all want to know?
Stop. This is Nas?
No. Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech.
I like
the sounds of Nas from God's Son. Which track is this?
Heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have just looked up like a weirdo. Oh, God.
Nice
this
instrumental.
Song is so good.
Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show we break down tech news and nerd culture from a black and brown geek perspective. That's close. That was close. I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined as always by my man Akili Shine. What's up, sir?
What up, man?
How you doing?
Chilling.
Good. You got the Assassin's Creed hoodie on today. Did I already say that? Last time I called it to something else.
Nah, it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah. No, it was the
Ghost Protocol?
No, it was the Minority Report.
Oh, okay.
Close enough. Close enough. Today you look like Assassin's Creed, though.
Yes, sir.
And I got the lovely Alexis. How are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about some crazy tech, nerd, and video game news.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
Yes, and you've got your nerd glasses.
I do. I've got my Majora mask shirt.
And your masks and your nerd boobs.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
As we all have.
I grew them myself. Thank you very much.
There you are, right in the lab. What was I saying here? We're starting. Well, I want to talk about something that came up, which is Adweek had the top 10 most watched ads online. I thought it was very cool.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at any of these things, but it just sort of speaks to the engagement of when things drop, how many views there. It speaks to me the successful engagement of online versus traditional media, and some of these are doing, like, in a very short amount of time, are doing a crazy amount of views. The one that won is the Barbie Imagine Possibilities ad, which got 12 million views. The one that caught my eye the most is the Snow Day one, which just dropped like last week.
Really?
Yeah, they dropped it. Nike dropped it. They did a making of. They showed me everything else, and when I looked at it, it had like 301 views, and now it's up to 8 million views. And also, it doesn't help that the commercial is ubiquitous in all sports. If you watch any sports over the weekend, especially football, you see the commercial 1,000 times. Anything jump out at you guys? You guys see anything? Or is this topic, like, any thoughts on the idea that, the proliferation of these types of ads online, and also any thoughts on any of the ads you see? Akili, what about you?
I mean, yeah. But I think that's the power of YouTube, especially as it's, transforming itself into YouTube Red, just the ability to communicate to millions of people and active users, people that are actually seeking it out. Like, and you look at the top, Fortune 500 companies, a lot of them are making some really compelling cinematic commercials, and I think it has a great entertainment value. And I mean, it's kind of interesting because, like, when you watch TV, you don't want to watch the commercials, but then on YouTube, you hop on and you actually want to watch the commercials. So I think the platform allows for a better experience. Like, it's not necessarily force-fed where you have to sit and watch it. Like, you can choose what you want to watch, and I think that part is cool. You choose what products, brands that you like, and
I agree. Alexis, is your engagement better online or on TV? I know you didn't watch TV.
Well, yeah, I'm one of those people that little cable cutters, because the fact that I live in an apartment with like a bunch of people that are all my age, like 25 to 30, and most of the time I usually get my ads through like Hulu, and not so much through anything else.
Are you clicking through? Do you care? Are you skipping ads?
I mean, sometimes I skip ads and sometimes I don't. It really depends on what it is. I know that a lot of things with YouTube, they usually do like the trailers sometimes. So there'll be a trailer that I haven't seen as an ad, and I'll be like, oh, what's this? So before I even touch skip ad, I want to see the rest of it. And then obviously if it's something I'm not interested in, I'll hit it.
Right.
I noticed a lot. The holiday ads started coming up like in October, and I was just like, we haven't even hit Halloween yet, and we're already talking about like Black Friday and Christmas stuff already. Yeah. That was kind of nuts to me that they were starting so early, but I guess it's something I should be used to.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Akil. I think what you're saying about the going to these things online when you find them on YouTube, they kind of go, lack of a better term, they go viral, and you want to hear about them, you sent them. All of these, with the exception, including Snow Day, I've seen online, and I have not seen any other place. So I think it's worth a chat about. Speaking of a chat of Snap, that is.
Snapchat?
Yes. There was the political season. It's early. Really, 2016 is our election year. But as you know, we ramped things up sort of early. Debates have started as early as 2 months ago, which is way too early. But this is what we're doing. But what's happened is that this latest Republican debate and at this roundtable with all the Democrats that Maria Menounos did, the Action Committee thought they would check out what the young people thought. They thought they'd do that by just a sampling of Instagram and Snapchat users. Now, it's kind of a weird thing because it's only took 1,500 people, but it's a pretty good sample size, and the results are pretty interesting to me. Only in that, at the end of the result, the Republican side loved Trump and the Democratic side loved Bernie Sanders, but the way they broke down and what they cared about, in the Republican side, Trump won by a whopping 18% of the vote. Tied with the super Negro Ben Carson at 18%.
Lord have mercy.
And then Carly Fiorina 8, Cruz 5, Rubio 3, Bush 0, Huckabee 0, none of the above 6, and then no opinion 40%. What does that say about our youth? And I don't know if that's because it's the Republican side or not. If you switch over to the Democrat side, 54%, better numbers already, want Sanders, 27 Clinton, Chafee gets 2%, Lacey gets 0, and no opinion's only 11%. Now, I don't know if the stat says only 1,500 people, but I don't know if it's 40% don't care about the Republican field, or if it's just too many to dilute it, or if it means that the youth are more swinging towards engaged when it comes to Democrats, or does this even matter because it's only 15%, 1,500 people? What do you think, Keely?
I mean, I definitely think it's the party. I think the Republican Party probably, their demographic isn't really young people. So I think the Democratic Party, their messaging and their presentation,
or minorities.
Speak more to the demo that Snapchat and Instagram have. So I think that's why those statistics are so disparaging. I think there's more of an affinity towards people that are charismatic and speak about issues that you can relate to in your age grouping. But I think it's dope, just the utilization of the technology that we're going to see in this election season. Just thinking about how many elections that I've been able to vote for. It's 4 now. This will be the 5th one, and just seeing in my lifespan, just how things have changed and mutated in terms of what it is now, like how we're presented with stuff and how we're educated with stuff and how we can engage and interact with it, and then get the analytics for it. I think it's awesome. It's amazing, and it's a way to politicize youngsters. So I think the fact that they're doing a poll like this kind of speaks to the times. So.
Yeah, I know who you put it. So your first election you did Bush 41, and then you did Bush 43, and then you did
where I could vote.
Bush. These are not all people you voted for, and then the last one you did Romney.
Exactly.
And then now you're leaning towards Trump.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone here knows that Trump is going to win.
Just making sure I got this right. Alexis, what do you think? You're young. What do you think of this?
Thanks for throwing it out there. No, but to be honest, I can see why. I completely agree with Akili that I feel like it is extremely party based, because most of the people that I know that are in my age group or in that age range, they're mostly for the Democratic Party. I also know a lot of people who would just rather not deal with politics at all, because they feel like even though they'll vote for other things, but they won't for an actual presidency. They usually don't vote because they feels like they'll never get what they want, which is very much the generation that we're in. But me personally, I feel like that I think this is a really good way to get us youngsters really into politics and learn more. Because I mean, even though school can give us enough, I feel like social media can kind of work that in their own way to get them more interested in it. And I don't know what it is about social media and polls. Like, that's like a thing that people love. And
well, it's data. It's also like it's a way to get to young people, and it's also data. And I think that like be able to have that real time data is important.
And I think it's a smart way to go.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what they'll do the next couple of years as it relates to technology, like why the infrastructures that we still have to drive to the poll station.
Yeah, I mean,
why can't we use our phones now?
Can't we use our phones to vote? Is there like with our fingerprint and everything else that we need these days? It shouldn't be easy to verify who you are and to be able to sign up for something, verify for something. I mean, that stuff is hackable, obviously, but like putting pieces of paper in a box for someone to carry into a van somewhere else is not exactly the most foolproof thing anyway either. So I don't know.
No, I think that's a really, I don't know. I was thinking about that like the other day. I was like, why aren't we using our phones or something, or tablets or something to do that instead of us getting in our car and driving over there? It probably would be easier to sit there from work and do it.
Well, it's a larger story, which sort of bleeds into our next story about just like the curve. Like the technology curve is often so far ahead of the bureaucracy curve or the red tape administrative curve, and this is what happens. I mean, we all know the easiest way for all Americans to vote would be some sort of electronic, even if it's not a web-based thing, like even if you can just go to the polling place and there's a screen and you can hit the screen and it zaps and it calculates immediately. It's way more effective than what happens now. But alas, I digress. And then moving her next thing, which I thought was interesting, and I saw in 538, it's a conversation about like why our medical records. I mean, you go to any doctor's office and it's like just rooms and rooms of files. Like they're actually pulling paper files of stuff. When you go to another doctor and you request your information, they still got to pull up the stuff, check it all out, sometimes fax it over, like sometimes scan it. Like, it's 2015. Why haven't we done this yet? And it's kind of, and there's an article talking about that, and from both Bush and Obama signed movements to create like incentives for doctors to switch over, but ultimately it's about cost and it's about habits, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they spent roughly $30 billion to begin this transition, but the thing that's problematic is that there's no singular or monolithic way of corralling all the information. So it's
not like Med Systems 215.
Each hospital or doctor or practice has their own system of managing the files. So these systems don't often communicate with each other. So there's a disconnect. There's a loss. And so I think in terms of the future, propelling more of a fluidity is to incorporate more money to build a singular, communication pool where people can submit the information, receive the information. But then there's inherent problems with that because there's information you don't want your employer to see or another doctor to see. So it's like what system needs to be built to manage that so that the doctors and the practitioners are able to communicate effectively, but also the patients have their protections. Right. So like how do you design something that could fulfill 300 million people that live in this country? Like that's pretty tough.
I think that's the driving force that we need to either work on or focus on, because I always feel like there's a lot of people I know that, or even someone who has to see the doctor readily because I have brain damage, is that sometimes I'll go see a different doctor and they'll be like, we didn't get any information about your history or anything like that. And I'm like, well, I just spent a whole hour filling out all this paperwork, and then you guys haven't had it, and you guys had a whole 2 weeks to do that. So I feel like, and then I have to wait another month to get my scan. So it's like, it's something that I've been really and not an advocate for, but I've been really trying to make that a thing, especially since a lot of people I know who have cancer, like that's a lot of things that you have to go from different hospital to hospital, and I just feel like that's something that they should really pay attention to.
And again, one of the things that, that is we're like dead last on in terms of in America, like and in terms of how we, obviously there's people way worse off from a bureaucratic standpoint. Right. But we are not leading the way in any kind of modernization of anything when it comes to bureaucracies, especially when it comes to medical or insurance companies. So there you go. Let's moving on to people who worked with leading the way. Steve Jobs and Woz, Steve Jobs and Wozniak. There's a little mini documentary on 538, a little series that they call Signals about. This is highlighted in the book too, how Jobs and Wozniak created this little basically way to get around long distance charges to be able to hack the phone system so they can have more time, more computing, more coding and computing time, which allowed them to sort of jump ahead of everyone else. I believe this stuff was also highlighted in Malcolm Gladwell's book too, about talking about like how you're able to get your 10,000 hours, how you're able to get this stuff. I thought this was a great story. I don't know. Did you get a chance to check this out, Akili, at all?
Definitely. I think it's a dope story, especially that it's an ESPN production as well. I think that's kind of cool. The significance of something like that integrated with a sports voice or sports angle. So
they're 538 is following the Grantland model,
right? And
so they're trying to do that. Even they shut down Grantland. They have 538. So I'm sure.
Speaking of which, all of our content we don't have anymore. But
well, it's still up there.
It's
archived,
not on YouTube.
Oh, they took it down on YouTube?
Yeah. Not on YouTube. They took everything down. But anyway.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they took everything down. But I think this is dope in the sense that these two nerds in their house,
breaking news.
Just figuring out how they can build a faster, more efficient way for them to develop stuff. I think that's super awesome. And like everything that they built and how it changed the world, and you go microscopically and then you see like something as cool as that. I think it's just a cool factoid, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree. Do you have any thoughts on it?
I don't have any thoughts on it. I didn't get to finish reading on it. So
that's cool. So they took down the Grantland YouTube channel's down. And so all of our views and everything is down there.
Yeah.
So we'd have to repost it.
Yeah.
Because we own it still. Well, we don't own it, but we digress. We can talk about this offline. Sorry.
I was like, what's
happening? We did a lot of work for ESPN and Grantland. That's all. Okay. Apple Pay may soon let you square up with your friends a la Venmo.
Yeah, I was like, what's this all about? Because I did a little bit of research, but I didn't really understand like what was the point of it.
Well, I mean, I think people, I don't know if you use Venmo, if you have Venmo. Do you use Venmo? Okay, Keela, do you use Venmo?
I've used it, but I use Square more so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I use Square
Cash.
I don't use Square. It's the same premise.
It's very similar.
Because if I'm like we're at dinner, for instance, we're at dinner.
Square Cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been using Venmo a lot, and the thing I've been reading about Venmo, it's tricky because it's not exactly. It's social. It's not exactly vettable. It's not exactly your money's not necessarily safe. I mean, who's to say?
That's why I'm kind of scared to use it.
Yeah, someone Venmo'd me a decent amount the other day, and I thought and I couldn't pull it down, and I got nervous, and I was like, oh my god, how do I get this? And it was a mistake on my end, but it raised the question like, is my money secure? Is it going to be stuck out in cyberspace when I need it? So anyway, Apple Pay is
cyberspace when I need it.
that's like an old man. Is my money up in the
cloud?
In the cloud? But Apple Pay is trying to do a similar thing, which I think is a good idea. I mean, Apple Pay is already integrated into your phone. I do use it. It's in your wallet. They're trying to do a very similar thing. I think it could be a success. I think it could take these people out of business. But people like Akili who don't even use Apple Pay, it may be nothing else. So what do you think of this show?
Can't put you on blast.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you ain't getting my fingerprint. I mean, I think it's smart. Like, I think as there's more opportunity for Apple to grow and expanding consumers to buy their products, this is a great play because now the fact that they don't need to make money off of me sending money to you, Joe.
Yeah.
They don't have to take a percentage because they want me to buy a new phone. They want you to buy a new phone. So they'll offer this service as a perk, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's smart. And I think it's functionally dope as well. Like, I mean, we're living now in really a cashless society, so to be able to pay without taking out your wallet and break up a bill in a restaurant with your friends, or pay back someone with the click of your fingerprint or whatever, or the input of your fingerprint, I think is really, really sweet.
Wow.
But I won't be doing it.
I think it's really innovative.
Yeah.
I just won't use it.
I'm already using. They already got my fingerprint. They're already using it. I mean, I blindly trust Apple, which I probably shouldn't based on this next story. But what do you do?
See, I'm like an old person. I would rather go to like Western Union than like go like do a transfer to like
send a telegram.
Like, yeah, it's like, hey, my friend needs cash, and I'm just gonna send him a Western Union.
It's old school.
Oh my God! I need your account
Alexis.
information
Stop.
so I can do that.
Right.
Here's
Send
your money. Stop.
All right. Fine.
Thanks for getting turned up. Stop. No, I mean, I completely agree. I feel like I living in a cashless kind of society is weird to me because, I mean, as a person of Asian culture, if you I know this might be like a hard left, but like anytime you go to like Japantown or if you travel or anything like that, everything is mostly used with cash or some sort of currency. So it's very funny to watch somebody who's like, okay, here's my card, or here, do you have Apple Pay or something like that? And they're like, no, we're cash only. And then they like don't know what's happening. They're like, what is this prehistoric thing? Cash? Paper money. What?
I was in the airport the other day. Maybe I'm just slow, but I never saw this. I saw a vending machine where you could just put your iPhone up and get a bag of chips.
That's like really brand new. Like really brand new. Because
I don't have to put in quarters.
Yeah,
Well,
Doritos.
I will say,
instant Doritos.
In an anti-plug, I never ever go to McDonald's, but I was rushing and needed.
Oh, I know.
Need to drive through
I wanted
coffee.
to bring this up.
So
I was like, get out of town.
They got an app, and you buy one, you buy 5 coffees, you get one free. But more importantly,
I was like,
which may incentivize me to use them longer. But more importantly, when I pull up, you know, they accept Apple Pay and Google Pay, whatever you guys do. Google Wallet. So this welcome to window, boop, coffee, boop.
There's a couple.
Do that 4 more times, I get one for free. They're just helping you out.
There's a couple Taco Bells in Orange County that does that, where you can just go up to the drive-thru and just use your phone. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I know. Well,
I'm like, here's my $20 bill of mysterious cash paper money.
This may or may not get me back into McDonald's or Taco Bell. I've been away from those 2 establishments for a minute.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's the same thing. Like when you go to like Red Robin or like Chili's or something, you don't give your check. You don't get a receipt. You do it at this little tiny kiosk. Red Robin too? Yeah, Red Robin's doing it now. I just went recently because they just built one in Northridge. And,
the new one,
yeah. And I went there, and they're literally like, "Yeah, we're not doing checks anymore. Like this is it. This is Robin. Like they actually even name it now." And I'm like, "Get out! Just I'm here."
I will say too, you know, as an entrepreneur, this technology does have a great usefulness because typically when you do a job for someone, you might have to wait a span of time to get paid, a net 30, 60, or 90. Yep. But now you're like, yo, break out your phone, pay me my money.
It'll take me 90 days to get my phone to you.
No, drop me the fingerprint.
No, I always I love it when people are just like when they're like, oh, I don't know. There's even like homeless people who are like, I don't have any cash, and they bring out a little fucking square and stick it in their phone like, hey, you got a credit card? I'm
wow.
Oh my god.
That's a good look. Yeah.
Well, shit. Here, give me your phone.
That's a good look.
Here's $5. Have a good day.
That's a good look.
Enjoy that McDonald's.
Very industrious homeless folks.
Wow.
It was crazy. I was like, oh, well, shit.
Let's wipe something.
Yeah, I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
Slap that credit card.
Well, speaking of me being in fingerprints and trusting Apple, there's an interesting article on Reelz, which I love Reelz, by the way. If you guys don't know Reelz, you should check it out. But Reelz does have something like called Reelz Tech now. But I found this article here, and I learned something about there's a hidden app in your iPhone, and you don't need to worry about this, Alexis, because you're on Google. I'm certain Google has worse. But
shut up.
In your Apple Maps, you know, when you put in your locations, you put in where you are, and you're dropping pins, and you're doing all the stuff in your Apple Maps, as I do all the time.
Okay.
There is a one thing on there that you can turn on and turn off called frequent locations in your settings.
Right.
If you do not turn your frequent locations off, you can get a report of exactly how often you visit places in a city. So what it looks like, it'll say, if you pull up my phone, I'm like, New York City, 45 locations recorded from this time to this time. New Hampshire, Connecticut, whatever. It'll tell you exactly where you've been, all the locations you've been at.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You can click on it, tell you everything you've been at, and there's that. That's the first report you get, and you're like, oh, okay, there's that report. That's not so bad. And then you check out the second report, and
there's more.
Well, it pulls up exactly sort of where you've been, and then the other report will give you sort of an aggregate. It gives you this sort of like zone by time, so you can pinpoint like, God, Achilles in this neighborhood from this time to this time a whole lot. Like if I want to like grab Achilles' phone and be like,
you getting a booty call in this neighborhood? What's happening?
Achilles, he's in the blue red light district. Like an awful lot of time. In fact, he was
From
there.
This time to this time.
We're supposed to be working that day. He's just still here. So the point
that's going to cause some problems.
Yeah, the idea that you can sort of figure out the show that's like just zone you out like where you've been and then do it by time and sort of get an idea of where the time is.
If you have a side chick, you are screwed.
all of Kitty's locations, like where he's at.
Better be turning that GPS off.
So the bad news is that you can do that and you can find that on your whatever your coworker's phone or your employee's phone or your significant other's phone when you're trying to put someone on blast. But the worst news is this information is also going to Apple, so they can find you too. I was already afraid when Uber got in some hot water when they have something at Uber called the God screen. I don't know if you know about this.
Heck is that?
Well, Uber, as you know, if you look at your phone, they show you where every driver is and other stuff on your phone, so you can see where all the drivers are, who's coming, when the driver's coming in real time.
Right.
When you go to Uber headquarters in San Francisco, you look at the God screen that has every single car and every person that's in the car.
Oh, that's creepy.
So you can look at it. So you can type in George Clooney, and then and there's George Clooney driving in an Uber. If George Clooney is in an Uber, they know. If you're in an Uber, they know. So they can sit there and for fun, they'd be like, oh, where's Leonardo DiCaprio going now? Oh, he's going to so-and-so's house again, that address. Like there's so much information that they have. And they would have fun with it, and they on a tour, they got busted with it. That's a whole different separate story. My point is, the God screen, Apple has a God screen too, and we're giving it to them. We talk about all this talk about Facebook and all the information we give Facebook and all the things that Facebook can do. And
Facebook's not even like on the radar for me anymore.
I mean, they do a lot, but don't sleep on Apple. Apple's collecting some data too. What do you think of this, Akili? Man. And they got your fingerprint.
I feel like I'm on parole. I'm serious, man.
Ankle bracelet.
Got 3 strikes.
I was gonna say, I was like, you're on house arrest.
That blew my mind. And that, for me, who's an Apple apologist, it really blew my mind.
No, technically Google has the same thing, but it's not to that point. I'll get like sometimes if you use like the Google homepage on your phone, sometimes it'll be like, hey, you've been to this, and this. How was it? And I'm like, this is weird.
They doing it too.
Well, no, obviously, I don't see it, so they're hiding it a little bit better. But no, I think it's weird. I mean, sometimes I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice that I get to see like what I visited. Maybe I want to go back there. I don't know, whatever. Or if I'm like, hey, I can't remember, there's a restaurant I went to last week, and I'll look at that. But I feel like it's not a big deal. Also, it's really scary to me.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kill anything.
I mean, to think that this is so tucked away in the.
You gotta find
the programming of the software. That's the last thing on a long laundry list of things, and like it's so like simplified. Like oh, that's nothing. Yeah, and your phone is just tracking, collecting, shipping off. Yep, and you are being watched.
Yeah, it's very very much like the movie that I can never remember that I said the again.
Good job.
Enemy of the State.
There you go.
That movie, where they're tracking things. That movie's like 10 years old.
I love that movie. I need to rewatch that.
That's a dope movie.
It's a really
12
good
years
movie.
old, and all that stuff is like really coming through. They really track your ass. What's the other bad version of that? There's a bad one like that with Shia LaBeouf. Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye. Yeah.
That one's a terrible version of that. But all right. So yeah, be very afraid. So are you going to turn this joint off in your thing?
My phone's off right now. I mean, I'm not using my phone.
No fingerprints, no calls,
nothing.
No incoming calls accepted. Nothing.
Nah. Yeah, I think I probably will turn that off. I don't see. I mean, you would keep it on if you need Siri or you need the phone to tell you, hey, you're 15 minutes away from home, or it's traffic. I don't necessarily need that. I can clearly see it's traffic.
I can clearly
because they use it to be able to. This is how they get you. This is how Facebook gets you. They give you a list of things why. Oh, we're just trying to better help you. Get you through your day. Well, Siri needs information, so Siri can know what I'm trying to help you out.
Nah,
there'd just be giant middle fingers every time Facebook or Google or whatever was just like, we're just trying to help you get home. I'm like, I think I can figure it out. I'm like,
right. So moving forward, The Peanuts movie was,
what did you say?
The Peanuts movie.
Yeah,
Peanuts.
I know. I was like, what did he say?
Wrong show.
Whoa, hey.
The other movie.
Black Hollywood After Dark, all right?
Yeah.
Relax.
The other movie was pretty good, too, but I didn't see it.
Which one?
Wow.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah, that's why I wanted him to say it. I was like, what?
That's only on my iPhone. It's only showing on my iPhone and my sent messages.
Get out of here. So
to certain individuals.
The Charlie Brown Peanuts movie.
Peanuts movie.
It's so close. It's so close.
Peanut.
Lord of mercy. The Charlie Brown movie.
Did a crazy amount of marketing and incredible marketing blitz. I mean, it was from everything from tasty cakes to crunches to film. I mean, there was not one piece of anything out there that didn't have Charlie Brown or Snoopy's grill on it, and it was somewhat successful for them. But what was not, and because the movie opened pretty well and it had got good reviews, what was not successful for them though was their online engagement. They had
makes sense.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that all these other things, and
I wouldn't classify it as not being successful. I would say it was not as successful as their marketing push for the Minions, but it was still had a level of success. But it wasn't like it was just a train wreck of marketing.
Not a train wreck. Yeah, right. For me to say it wasn't a success is thing, but it was sharply less than the Minions for the other movie, and why? Well, I know why, but what do you think?
No, I think it was just because a lot of kids, like younger kids in this generation, don't know who Charlie Brown and the gang are. Me personally, I think they just, with Minions, it was something new. Yeah, kids grew up with it.
The Minions look more interesting than
Charlie Brown. Yeah.
I disagree with that because I think that
with what?
With
I think what you said. I don't know.
No. I disagree with the point about like that kids don't know Charlie Brown, so there's no recognition there. I think with all the bus backs and everything else, there are plenty of kids who this is one of the things I noted. I'm like, God, all these kids don't know what Charlie Brown is, but every kid is like so excited. I want to see Snoopy and Charlie Brown because it's in their face everywhere.
Okay.
And so I think that part was successful. I think the part that wasn't successful is kids aren't on their phone, kids aren't on Facebook, kids aren't on Instagram, kids are on
the
Snapchat.
Kids that want to see like
that
Snoopy.
Age group.
Yeah, no. I mean they are, but they're not using the internet for what we would use it for.
Minions. There's a lot of adults, like people who are like Minions, and also want to take their kids. There's a little bit of that in the Peanuts thing,
Lord
but not as much. And I feel like that's where it suffered. I think that they weren't able to engage those kids because those kids aren't there to find that stuff.
No. I mean, even though I know a lot of adults and young adults who do like Charlie Brown and things like that, but I don't think they care that there's a movie coming out. They're kind of like, oh, that's cute, and then just kind of move on.
Right.
So there are other movies that they would rather be gushing over than the Peanuts.
Right. The Peanuts. Moving forward, Activision Blizzard launches a studio to create a Call of Duty cinematic universe, and this is something that was a long time coming. And there's like on how many Call of Duty games, the first all the Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy featured all the same characters that you followed and played along. Yep. This new version has
Black Ops.
The Black Ops one is how it follows a trilogy of the people, and the father and the son of the people, and then the grandson of the people. So there already is within the existence of the universe like two separate stories, that are there that you can make so much rich content on. The question I have is, it seems like a no-brainer, but do we need a cinematic universe about like war and battles? It makes so much. Well, hold on. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
No.
Well, I say yes.
Okay.
I say yes because we are moving into an era where niche content is going to be king. And so people that have a strong interest of this type of content are millions of people.
Okay.
And so you got to think that millions of people would love to watch a cinematic element of this. Right. And the fact that a company like Activision has so much freaking money, like they can easily create and produce and distribute the content. So it's a win-win for them to keep people engaged in their universe, to buy more games, to buy whatever else they develop in future down the line. So I think this is hella smart.
No, I'm not saying that it's not smart. That is definitely not what I'm saying, because they're going to get a shit ton of money for it. I just don't think that it's necessary, is what I'm saying.
From a content creative standpoint.
Yeah,
okay.
but like for the marketing aspect and just like making literally a shit ton of money, yes, then I say I would be all in. I'd be like, do it, just go for it. I don't care. But personally, I think I'm like, we don't really need it. And as a person whose most video game movies don't even do very well.
Well, trust me, there's a shitload of things that we don't need that we get anyway.
Well, duh.
Like we didn't really need a Peanuts movie, to be honest with you. But my point is, but my point is, Kitty's point is spot on for me in that, like, this is kind of the future, especially when you see these companies with as much infrastructure and money as they have. So they have that. Not only they have
Billions.
the money, and the infrastructure, they have like billions of dollars worth of intellectual property that they own.
Well,
So this is like, I mean, this is essentially better off than most studios have starting out.
No, and that's why I said it's a great idea, and I think they should do it. I just personally think that, but again, I'm just like,
I like the idea because if you look at the traditional studio, business, like people, like Universal or MGM, wherever they are, they're constantly trying to look at their old catalog and figure out like what do we own, what old TV shows do we own, what old movies can we do.
I mean,
like Universal,
they're rebooting Die Hard for no freaking reason.
Well, it is the number one action movie, right?
Yes, it is still. I'm saying,
it is, but I'm just like, I don't know why we have to reboot anyway.
I said top 3, but the point is that they're going. They're going like Universal's going in and like they look at all their how many times that Universal has looked at their monster franchises and how are we going to reboot Frankenstein, Dracula,
Did you know
Mummy?
that they're rebooting Van Helsing?
They're rebooting Van Helsing. They're giving Dracula another shot. They're giving Frankenstein another shot. So the point is that this makes sense, and also when you see the universes, like the Marvel universe, what the Marvel universe did for now for Disney, but in that whole structure, you see what the Harry Potter universe did. You see what the Twilight universe did. You see what the Hunger Games universe did. We've got that's just like, man, we got some universes,
and not just that. You got to keep in mind too, like where we're going with VR technology. True. A lot of these video games aren't going to be playing with a controller and looking at a TV screen. It'll be immersive, and so to be able to have some type of movie cinematic element, like having both of those things being developed, maybe there could be a synergy of the two. Like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
you're going to be playing in the movie.
Yeah.
The
just like.
I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I'm so done. But I think it'd be. But like, if I was on the other side of that spectrum, I would just be like, "This is the best thing ever." I
want to skip this. I want to skip this Star Wars story because
guys. You know how much I love Star Wars. Yes. You know how much I am so excited for this movie. I've actually hit that point with advertising that I'm just like, can we stop?
Well, it's funny. Like
I'm done.
Well, I guess we'll talk about it for a second. It's funny because I spent the last 18 months on kind of like a very soft like boycott, like very soft like I don't want to know too much. I'm just purposely I'm gonna get over.
I don't think you really have a choice to this.
And then about 3 weeks ago, it hit me. I'm like, oh shit, I'm excited. This is exciting. And I got really ramped up and freaked out right around that toy door when the BB-8 dropped.
So bad.
Right when the toys dropped and then the new trailers and new posters came out, I was like, I'm excited. Now on this push, we were about 32 days away.
Yeah, pretty much.
This last push, they're really pushing.
They're like, hey, here's everything, and I'm like, I get it.
I'm trying.
I just feel like they should have done this earlier, and then slowly, like Mark Donica, who does the Jedi Alliance show on Popcorn Talk Network, like we were talking about it earlier, and I know he's brought it up on his show several times. Is that I feel like they should have brought it earlier and then did a slow push throughout.
I think they're going to bore out being correct, like trickling in and doing a push now because everyone's going to see this movie. I mean, I know people who don't even that didn't even know that there was a new Star Wars movie coming out now being excited for it because they don't, we knew because we're nerds and we love that, but like the general population is like, oh, did you know that there's a Star Wars movie coming out? Yes, I've known for like a year. 2 people that I know who really have no associations. Like, so do I what's a Yoda? Do I need to go and watch these?
What's a Yoda?
I kind of want to start watching. So which one should I watch first? And I'm like, wow, that's how much it's got to you.
Yeah,
off the street.
I guess should I watch it?
I don't want to be left out. I guess I should go back and watch these other 6 movies.
It's gotten to that point now because there's so much stuff about it, like the guy, you know, sadly who passed away, he got to see the movie early, and then there's all the toys, and like there's just, it's in every type of news media spectrum that people are just like, oh, I want to watch it. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a giant tangent.
So much for me not talking about
Sorry.
it. Keely, you want to add anything to this?
Nah, man. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Star Wars is awesome.
All right.
Better hope it holds up.
I want to hit these last two things.
A lot of people have been saying that, and I'm like, don't say that.
Better hope it holds up.
I think it will. Xbox Live went down for a while. That was a big deal.
Oh my God, everyone was so upset.
Out because it came out. It went down during the week of Call of Duty
and
Fallout 4, Tomb Raider.
Guys, I know that all these awesome games came out. Chill.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they are
hard.
on it.
Yeah, and so then,
whatever.
And then PlayStation's capitalizing. You don't got that over on PlayStation, so you know who knows. So I don't know.
Yep.
I've been hearing a lot of
Just
PlayStation.
saying.
I've been hearing a lot of PlayStation.
No,
smack
I would never smack talk because I actually love both consoles. But I've noticed that everyone I know who has an Xbox One's like, my thing doesn't work, and I'm like, well, that's funny. I'm still playing Destiny. I don't know what's happening.
When I ever get back to any kind of thing that resembles a normal life, if that ever happens, I'm gonna get both consoles, and then my fantasy is I'm gonna spend like an entire week like on both consoles, like freaking Jam Master Jay on both consoles.
No,
like mixing.
See, anyway. I have them, and I'm not sitting there like, yeah. I've literally got to the point where I'm like, oh wow, I'm actually getting dust on my console. So I mean, I don't know, whatever.
All right, last one before you get into your stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
There was announced that CBS is bringing back Star Trek. We talked about that, but then Moonves wanted to drop it only on CBS Access, which, you know, I think this is a brilliant move, and this is why. And when they announced CBS All Access, and I subscribed to it for a month for free, and then it was like charging me for 3 months, so I had it for 3 months, and I was like, "What is this CBS thing?" Whoa. Anyway, I got duped, but. I thought CBS doing their own thing. They have a bunch of content back there. You can go back and watch all their old shows and everything else. I think it's great, but if you don't want to just watch old Gilligan's Islands and CSIs, you could. What they did was they're saying they're dropping this new CBS, this new Star Trek thing, but you can only watch it on here, and this is their way to help launch the network, just like Amazon, just like all the other people doing it. And this is the way to say, like, back to these existing intellectual properties that you have and own, to take existing fans and then take them over to your house and keep them at your house. Right. I think this is brilliant because the first thing will premiere on CBS, and then to watch the rest, it'll go on All Access. They almost were going to do this with Supergirl.
I know. I remember.
But they didn't know if Supergirl had the legs yet, because who wouldn't care. They know people care about Star Trek. There's enough Star Trek fans to support the whole network. If Star Trek fans will pay $5.95 and get all the Gilligan's Island and all the crap they want just to watch Star Trek. So I think it's a brilliant move. And I won't be surprised if you don't see ABC doing a similar thing with Star Wars. So like ABC's going to launch one, and they're going to pull over new Star Wars content or new Marvel content. Like if ABC did this, they could support a whole ecosystem on Marvel and Star Wars content alone.
Yeah, just on that.
This is a good model. I think it's brilliant. What do you think, Keely?
Definitely think it's a good model. I think they're late in the game, but I think it's a good way to up the ante in the battle of users and consumers of content. So I like that about it. I like how they're even positioning it. Hey, like Netflix, we're still homies, but we're also your competitor too. Right. So our dope stuff, you can't have that quite yet. Yeah. You got to let us run that first. But you can have some of this off-brand stuff or whatever. So
HBO's doing the same thing.
Yeah. So I kind of like that. And I was just thinking, like, how come if the networks made like some type of an alliance together, they could easily kill Netflix and Hulu to create some type of hub where you have a subscription model and you get all the dope content.
That may happen.
What's Netflix going to do then?
Yeah, that may happen, and then
I think Netflix will be fine.
Well, that may happen. I think,
but I know what you mean,
and that's why Netflix is sort of like bulking up their original programming. So that day probably will come.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I know,
because these deals are like go into like 17 and 19, so they don't have a choice. Yeah. So everybody's kind of like preparing for the future. Once like the dude did that, Hulu was launched by Fox, a partnership between Fox and NBC. Right. So and they started getting other ABC and other well, CBS was not involved in Hulu at all, right? And now we know why. But Hulu, I mean. who knows what Hulu will become? Who knows if Fox says we're going to do our own thing, or ABC says they're going to do their own thing, a Disney version of this that has all Disney content,
I'm surprised Disney hasn't done that yet.
And Marvel and Star Trek, and like they could really make some money. So, but because they're already in bed with Netflix until like 2019, nothing they can do. And Netflix knows this is coming.
No, I completely agree with you, and I think that there's a lot of places that are doing that now. Like for anime lovers, Funimation is also going to be doing like an all access package thing where like you can watch as much anime as you want, but it's only Funimation stuff, which is it's the most popular one that I know.
Right.
So a lot of people are already signing up for that because there's actually content that they will not release any other way unless you get the all access package. So I mean, I think Netflix will still be able to like keep on trucking, but I feel like they'll start getting to that point where they'll
keep on trucking.
I just wonder
what is this, 1979? Keep on trucking.
Yeah, I said it. God.
I wonder what the frontier looks like, because I mean the average consumer is not going to have 5 subscriptions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So like,
I agree.
That's why everything is so niched out. Like, what do you do? Like, do you get the one anime subscription? Do you get the Showtime, HBO Go? The Showtime, what is it?
Showtime Anytime.
Showtime Anytime.
Yeah.
Do you get
HBO
Netflix?
Now.
Do you get Hulu? Do you get YouTube Red? Like, how do you decide? You know what I'm saying? So
It's gonna be rough.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to keep these price points low so
Really
that it
low.
adds up to your same as your cable bill. It's just basically a way to have an a la carte, because you're paying right now, like I'm paying $100 for cable right now. You know,
That's why it's just cable's just going to be obsolete at that point.
If you a la carte
especially.
it out, and I can get all those channels I want to have for like $89, and maybe I'll do that.
If they start making apps and they use like the Chromecast or Apple TV, there's literally like cable's going to be done after that, as soon as the networks start doing that.
No, Comcast and Time Warner are not going to go quietly. Too much money. Yes.
Well, no, of course not, but yeah.
You have some stuff.
Yes, there's some video game news that besides the Xbox stuff that I want to talk about. We had a Zelda spin-off to introduce a female Link, whose name Linkle. Pretty much it's for the Hyrule Warriors Legends for the 3DS. They've just decided to put in a new version, so now they have a female protagonist who's Link, but technically her name is Linkle, and that's what she looks like. And Nintendo America actually put out the tweet, I think, sometime either today or yesterday or something like that. So
I got so many things to say about Linkle, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, that was literally it. I just a lot of people are really excited for it. Some people are kind of like, why did they do that? But I mean, a lot of ladies are very excited for that.
I'm all for the female character. I'm all for
and she doesn't. But the one thing that I noticed is that she's not super girly.
Well,
she's
not super girly. She's a little. I mean, it's weird. She's somewhat sexualized.
Yeah.
But not, with the high boots, but also but she's like.
But she's also covering majority of her actual
Yeah.
jiggly bits? I don't know.
She's that's the technical term is jiggly bits.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. But I mean, they could have made it worse.
I don't know what you do. I mean, it's kind of got a Laura Croft vibe. You kind of want her to be a little sexy, but she's not over sexualized. I guess I'm okay with that. I don't know. I don't know what.
I'm sorry. Did you want her to be more sexy?
I don't know what I want. Part of me's like, she needs to be more sexy. Then I'm like, nah, she can't be. But it's weird. It's like she's got like a little girl face, and then she's got the boobs. It's like freaking me
weird.
out.
Okay.
It's making me feel like a guy with a gray beard shouldn't be looking at Linkle. The second thing is,
I feel like you're just digging
I'm like,
yourself.
I don't want to play Linkle. Like,
No,
she
but
has nice legs, but if she's like little,
No, I get it.
Here's the other thing. Linkle? That's the best they can do.
Okay, so
all the brilliant minds of all Nintendo, like Link, let's just call her Linkle.
Yeah,
they just gave up. Did they have a meeting at the bar? Linkle?
No,
that's awful.
I don't understand why Nintendo decided
Linkle.
But like it's weird. It's like it's really close to just something that just doesn't make it. It's weird. It's Wrinkle.
I mean, but from Link, you could do 1,000. I'm sure they won 1,000 names in the name generator, and they all voted on Linkle. You think Linkle's a dope name?
I do.
Okay.
Not.
Okay, I was like, what?
All right, well then that's why they was in on the meeting.
So I do not.
Oh, okay, you do not. Okay,
I don't know why they chose to use Linkle. I think it's weird. I think they were trying to be like, let's make her cutesy. Let's add Linkle. Like, oh, look how cute Linkle is. But no, I feel like they could have.
It actually has a ring. I'm not even gonna lie.
Linkle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have a ring.
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, there couldn't have been a better name.
Yeah. Well,
something.
Actually, the more I say it, the more I like it.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, that was a thing. It's supposed to be, the game's supposed to be released, I believe, or Wind Waker.
I don't want to have sex
March
with Linkle, though.
25. No, what? Why would you want to do that?
I want to have sex with Laura Croft.
That's different.
No, it's not.
That's totally different. She's like, I don't know how old she is, but like, she's like the little cutesy, thing. But then Lara Croft is a sexy, badass like character. I mean, she's badass to a point, but not.
got 2 crossbows and thigh-high boots.
Again, she's a pretty badass, and then you have Lara Croft, who's pretty, but also just like she has sex appeal into her character. Anyway, I'm
officially confused, Nintendo. Thank you very much. That's all we got. I think. Yeah. Oh wait, it was just. We want to watch something.
I was gonna talk about, because the fact that it did release this week or last week was the World of Warcraft trailer for the movie. I don't know if you guys saw it. I mean, we don't we can play a little bit of it.
Yeah, I know, play a little bit of it. I saw it.
So I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't know if you've seen anything or heard anything about it, but this is the same thing of how. Yeah. Oh, there you go. But like. It's just something that we were just talking about with Call of Duty that I wanted to talk about, was just the fact of how do you feel about, them taking something that's like a huge conglomerate and then making it into like an actual live action movie that's going to be in theaters.
This is one of the universe I wanted to mention too. And personally, I am OUT.
Really?
Out.
All right.
Out on the trailer. Out on the universe, out on the game, out on people who play the game, out on...
You guys were all gung-ho for Call of Duty movie coming out.
Out.
Yeah, so BlizzCon's kind of crazy.
But that being said, I guess the reason why I'm out is I have a couple friends who we sat at a poker night the other night, and a couple of my buddies do play this, and they were showing the trailer. They were really excited.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't. I think the CG looks bad. The creature, the orcs. It
orcs look a little strange.
It reminds me of Battlefield Earth, like Travolta and Forrest Whitaker.
Damn.
Like I feel like the whole. We just have the whole Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. Like I think people are just they just know. I'm a little fatigued of the giant orc battles, and none of it doesn't do anything for me. And I don't play the game.
Right.
I'm not into the world.
Do you think it's gonna do well?
Yes, because there's millions and millions of World of Warcraft nerds.
That's why I asked, because we were just talking about it for Call of Duty and stuff.
What do you think, Akili?
I think that the trailer looked awesome.
I'm in the minority. I'm in the minority. Are you serious?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
Super sarcastic.
I can't wait.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of talk about it, and a lot of people are excited, and a lot of people are kind of like, why is this even a thing?
Right.
So that's why I brought it up, since it's,
What do you think?
I used to be a hardcore WoW fan at one point, and but now seeing this trailer, I was kind of like, I'm probably not going to watch it. I mean, I will probably go just to review it, but I won't it's not something that I'm like racing to go see. I'd rather see Star Wars 8 times.
Would you say that it lost its wow factor? Heyo!
Get the fuck out.
That was really good.
Thank you.
No, Mark. No. Don't encourage him.
All right, so let's get out of here. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right, where can the people find you, Alexis?
You can find me all over social media as actually, I was just about to talk about AfterBuzz. You can find me all over social media as aTors890. Definitely go check out all of the other networks here that we host. We have AfterBuzz TV, where we talk about TV shows and we recap them. We also talk about movies on Popcorn Talk Network, which I was talking about for Jedi Alliance and other things like that. If you love books, Book Circle Online is another place to go. And then sooner or later, we're going to have an Every Girl Network, which is just a bunch of topics that we talk about with a bunch of ladies.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely follow all that.
I'm hanging out inside the front door.
You should. You should do it.
That won't be creepy at all.
And you will find Joe there just watching, just being creepy.
I'll be on the couch.
That creep fest.
Yes.
Lord of mercy.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Akili Shizsign.
You should see it. It's a great Instagram.
You should find
I've been stalking, being creepy.
And
Twitter and Instagram at Joe K. Braswell. And here at a sister network, AfterBuzz, doing the Blacklist. And that's it. Great to have you. Thanks for watching and listening to Geek.Nerd.Tech. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.